which means now we can work out how much profit is in this deal. And what we get is a profit of which makes the return on investment. Hey guys, I'm Kane from Source Estate, and today we are going to be checking out sold properties through the lens of a property investor to see if that property would make for a good investment. This time we have a property in Falchons Close. I think that's how you say it. It's in Beerstead, next to Maidstone, and it's a bungalow that clearly needs a lot of work. But you know what I say when I find lots of work? That's potential. So let's jump in. So here we go, we can clearly see this needs a lot of work. Look at that, that's been absolutely lived in. New carpets, new wallpaper. We've got ceiling fans. Oh wow, this has so much potential. It's exciting. Look how much land there's, even potential for land development, maybe an extension onto the back. Look at this, I assume this is meant to be the kitchen. We've got a hole in the roof for whatever reason. Yeah, so that needs to get fixed, as well as a whole new kitchen. Wow. Oh, look at that bathroom, beautiful. And another ceiling fan. I wonder how old that armchair is. And we certainly need new curtains, that's for sure. And a new garage door. But yeah, and if we have a look over to the side of this property, look, all these properties have got solar panels. These have been taken, taken care of. So the area is quite a nice area. It's just this property is seemingly run into, fell into disarray, and it needs a good update. And whoever buys this, whoever has bought this, looks like they're going to do just that. But does that mean, just because it needs a lot of work, does that mean it's a good deal? Well, if you overpay for the property and you spend too much on the build, then it's a bad deal. So now what we have to do is we need to find out how much this property can sell for. We call that the GDV, or the gross development value, which is the end value of the property after it's been done up and is ready to sell off. And the way you do that is you've got to find like-for-like properties that are close to yours, that have ideally been sold pretty recently, that are in a good end condition, the kind of condition that you expect to sell your property. And we call them comparables. So I've already done this to save time. And as you can see, I've got a good set of comparables here. It's a little bit of a mix. Some of them are like a really good end standard that has been done really nicely. Some are a little bit less average, but sometimes if you include some averages in your GDV comparables, that means you're actually going to be getting, more likely, a more conservative GDV than if you were to just take all really nice high standard comparables, right? So what you need to do is take all those comparables. You need to find out how much it's sold for and how big the property is. You divide them by each other, and that way you get the price per square foot. And then you find out how long ago it sold, so you can adjust that price based on the appreciation over the years. Once you've done that and you average them all together, then what you need to do is you need to times that by the square footage of your property, or this particular investment in this case, and that's going to give us our GDV. So our GDV for this property is 448, which is fantastic. If we can buy this property for 290 and sell it for 448, that gives us a lot of room for the build costs, right? We do have some other fees, so other fees such as you're gonna have to pay for some legals, you'll have to pay for stamp duty, that's just over 10K. A sourcing fee, if you was to buy it from an agent, will cost almost 6K. But with those fees taken into account, they're not all that much. How much is the build gonna cost? So typically when I'm working on a deal, I work with external builders that help me quote my finds and then are willing to take on the project after. If you buy a deal from me and it's a fantastic deal, there will be a builder in place that you can choose to go ahead with, and that way you can keep it as a completely hands-off project. But for this example, I'm not selling this property, so I'm not going to go through the hassle of contacting my builders to quote up this. It's a sold property. But I generally know the cost of things very surface level, so I've broken them down here. And as you can see, I've done for all new flooring, plastering, repaint, new rewire, kitchen, bathroom, boiler, windows, doors, garden, and miscellaneous. Now the garden, to be honest, I could probably just put that 2K from the garden in the miscellaneous, because the garden doesn't need all that much work, and you know, probably just more added extra costs. But we've taken all of those numbers and we've added them all up, and then added an extra 20% on for contingency, just in case I've missed anything. You know, maybe there's some damp I didn't account for, all sorts of issues. But that extra 20%, which brings our total build cost, or we usually call it a GDC, a gross development cost, comes to 59,000, basically 60K. Right, so now we have all the numbers. We have how much we're going to buy it for. We know how much the fees are going to be. We know how much the build cost is going to be. So we know how much we're going to invest in total. And that total comes to 367,000, which means we know that we're most likely going to be able to sell this for somewhere around 448. Which means now we can work out how much profit is in this deal. And what we get is a profit of 80,000. 80,000 profit, which makes the return on investment 21.92%. So absolutely fantastic investment. On top of that, because it's such a small, you know, bungalow, a 2-bed bungalow, this build's going to get done really quickly. You could do this whole thing within 3 months. 3 months to do. On top of that, this area average 40 days to sell. So you might be able to literally from start to finish do this entire project within 6-7 months and be able to make 80,000. That is crazy. On top of that, if we have a look at the area appreciation for this particular area, we can see, look at that, it's just had such a nice appreciation of the area, just been shooting up. And over the last 2 years, it's had a bit of a dip, but honestly, every area seems to have had the dip over the last 2 years. I think this is an absolutely fantastic find. If they wanted to rent it out after, if they put it into a good condition, then these kind of properties rent out for $12.50 per month, which if they leave all their money in the deal, then that gives them a return on investment, or a yearly profit of 11,340, or a return on investment of 3.08%, which is pretty average for the South. You know, we're not known for great cash flow, but as you can see, the capital appreciation is just astronomical. So this is an absolutely amazing find. In fact, it is just, if they just wanted to, instead of flipping it, if they just wanted to hold on and give it a year or two, it's probably going to increase in so much more value that it might be worth just holding on to it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you want to see more of these, then feel free to click subscribe. And if you're interested in getting your hands on some of these opportunities, I spend every day looking for these, and I work with a team of other deal sources all over the country to find incredible investments. If that's a service that you'd be interested in, then you can sign up to our website for a free 30-minute call. We can get to know each other and you can tell me your situation, and we can work together on a bespoke basis in order to find your perfect opportunity. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Click like, and I'll see you in the next one.